Good evening. You're watching Rajya Sabha News. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines. Rajya Sabha passes Marine Aids to Navigation Bill, already passed by the Lok Sabha. The bill updates legal framework for new technologies used in vehicle navigation. Won't act under pressure of subsections of the House, asserts Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu, urges protesting members to introspect on their attitude. And Standing Committee recommends direct air connectivity for tourist destinations and cultural sites, underlines need to improve road and air accessibility to destinations in the Northeast. The Upper House on Tuesday passed the Marine Aids to Navigation Bill. This bill updates the legal framework for new technologies used in vehicle navigation like radar, radar beacons, vessel traffic service and long-range identification, and also for monitoring ship locations. The bill also penalizes willful damage caused to lighthouses and related equipment. Legally, the bill synchronizes Indian rules with the International Association of Marine Aids to Navigation and Lighthouse Authority's Maritime Buoy system. The bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha.
Respected Vice Chairman, sir, I thank the Honourable Member, respected Subhash Chandra Singh ji, Banda Prakash ji, Ravinder Kumar ji, G.K. Bhasan ji, Jugal Singh, Lakhanwala ji, Venkata Ramana Rao, Mopi Devi for their expressions of important concern about the maritime sector, particularly whatever they have spoken. This is definitely helping us to take up the entire bill forward with a very positive note. So issue raised by some of the honorable members have please, sir, this bill will provide legal framework to adopt the latest technologies, meet the requirement of best global practices for safe and secure navigation and protection of marine environment. This bill will repeal the 90 years old Pre-Independence Act and replace it by the new act, which will provide holistic progress and development in the field of marine aids to navigation. Sir, this will also help the fishermen, coastal and international trade, lighthouse tourism in and around Indian coast and both maritime sector. Sir, this bill also provides for safe and pollution-free and efficient practices in Indian water. A lot has been stated by members of the history of marine navigation in India. We have a glorious 5,000 years old history of sea navigation. We want to align our navigation system with the latest world-class technology. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The question, Minister has replied. The question is that the Marine Aids to Navigation Bill 2021 as passed by Lok Sabha be taken into consideration. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has asserted that he will not act under pressure of some sections of the House, urging members to introspect on their attitude of not allowing the House to function. He stressed that dictation and dramatics will not be accepted by the chair.
Today is the 6th of the
provides
scheduled 19 sittings of the House for this monsoon session. We are still to get into business mode. I am concerned over media reports that some sections of the House are determined not to allow the functioning of the House for remainder of the session. We all should introspect. This is what we make of our exalted parliamentary democracy. Parliament is meant for making laws, to discuss public issues. Nothing is being allowed. So we have 8 bills, and also earlier there were 8 bills were passed in 17 minutes in 2008. This happened before. Unfortunately, Parliament is being reduced to such sorry state of affairs. Leaders of parties have voiced their concern to me over the ongoing state of affairs of this August House and being deprived of raising issues of public concern. We are depriving members of the 0-hour submission, special mentions, and also questions. Questions are your property. 0-hour is your issues, and also special mentions are your issues. You are harming the interest of the country, yourself, and also the interest of the Parliament. I appeal to all of you, please rethink about this attitude. See to it that the discussion takes place. I will never accept such dictation by anybody. Dictation or dramatics are not going to be accepted by the chair. Whoever is in the chair, you know that. So
the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture, headed by T.G. Venkatesh, submitted its report on the status of aviation connectivity on Monday. The report underlines the need to connect tourist destinations and also the cultural sites by air. The committee suggested that the Civil Aviation Ministry to work with the Ministries of Culture and Tourism to open up India's tourism potential and also ensure harmony among the stakeholder ministries. It also mentions the problems of inadequate road and rail facilities in the northeast that hamper accessibility in the region.
The report of the Department of Parliamentary
Rajya Sabha members congratulated citizens on the Ramappa temple being included in the UNESCO's World Heritage List. The temple is an 800-year-old architectural marvel. Its rich and intricate carvings exemplify the expert workmanship of the Kakatiya sculptors who built the temple over 40 years.
Honorable members, as you might be aware, the historic Rudreswara temple, popularly known as Ramappa Temple, situated near Warangal in Telangana state, has been accorded coveted World Heritage status by the UNESCO. In addition to the already existing 38 such sites of our country, an 800-year-old architectural marvel, Ramappa Temple boasts a timeless architecture that never ceases to amuse visitors. Its rich and intricate carvings stand testimony to the expert workmanship of the Kakatiya sculptors who took an astounding 40 years to build the temple. Recognition of Ramappa Temple as a World Heritage Site is indeed a matter of great pride for our nation. At the same time, it is also befitting tribute to the artistic imagination and creativity of the sculptures of Kakatiya dynasty. On behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I extend my congratulations to the citizens of the country on Ramappa Temple being accorded a coveted recognition by the UNESCO.
The upper house also paid homage to departed members. Chairman Naidu read obituary references for ex-member Wasim Ahmed, former President and Prime Minister of Mauritius, Anirudh Jagannath, and founding father of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth David Konda.
Honorable members, I refer with profound sorrow to the passing away of Sri Wasim Ahmed, a former member of this House, on 26th of April 2021 at the age of 69 years. Born in March 1952 at Patiali in Etah district of Uttar Pradesh, Sri Wasim Ahmad was educated at the Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. A civil engineer, Sri Ahmad was actively involved in politics right from his student days. He strived for the furthering the cause of the deprived and downtrodden and redressing public grievances. He served as a member of the Executive Council and Court of the Aligarh Muslim University. Sri Wasim Ahmad represented the state of Uttar Pradesh in this House from November 96 to July 1998. In the passing of Sri Wasim Ahmad, the country has lost a dedicated social worker and an able parliamentarian. I also refer with profound sorrow to the passing away of Sri Anirudh Jagannath, former President and former Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, our friendly country, and Dr. Kenneth David Buchijia Konda, founding father and President of the Republic of Zambia. Sri Anirudh Jagannath ji passed away on the 3rd of June 2021 at the age of 91 years. Sri Jagannath ji was a visionary global leader who shaped the political and economic landscape of Mauritius for over 6 decades. He served as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius for 6 terms and as the President of the country between 2003 and 2012. Hailed as the architect of modern Mauritius and the Mauritian economic miracle, Sri Jagannath ji was the recipient of Padma Vibhushan and very first Pravas Bharatiya Samman Award. He was an exemplary friend of India who worked tirelessly to mature and deepen India-Mauritius relations. Dr. Kenneth David Buchijia Konda ji passed away on the 17th June 2021. Dr. Konda was in the forefront of the struggle for independence of Zambia from British rule. He served as the first president of Zambia from 1964 to 1991 and played an important role in ensuring Zambia's development and its respected position among the community of nations. An iconic and great leader, Dr. Konda had very cordial relations with India. We deeply mourn the passing away of Sri Wasim Ahmad ji. The House also joins the bereaved families, the government and the people of Republic of Mauritius and Zambia in mourning the passing away of Sri Anirudh Jagannath and Dr. Kenneth David Konda and convey its heartfelt condolences to them. I request the honorable members to rise in their places and observe silence as a mark of respect to the memory of the departed.
So that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.